clear favourite from Sheik Columbine.
This oh-so sharp stakes. And they're off. Well, it's a little of a ragged start. Looked like Bellacci might have forced the stalls open, but not to any great advantage. Star Music away well from Gushing Gold and Cersei. Then Dance Sequence in the all-blue jacket, Bellacci. The favourite Skeleton in the pink cap is second last. Sheik Columbine is just the back marker as they race through the first quarter mile. Star Music. From in second place, maybe Skeleton on the near side of Cersei. And a stumble from Bellacci there. Pretty good sit by Ollie Stammers as they race on to the halfway stage. Quite an eventful race for Bellacci. And it's Star Music, a half length to Skeleton. Then Gushing Gold in the noseband. Cersei, Bellacci. Then Dance Sequence locked away towards the far side and Sheik Columbine. And now they're racing on towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Just passing the 3, in fact. And it's Star Music by a half length to Skeleton. These two battling on together, followed by Gushing Gold. Behind these Cersei, then Sheik Columbine now unleashing a run on the outside. Dance Sequence is being pushed along, but now making ground as they run down into the dip. Still Star Music from Skeleton. They're 1 and 2. Dance Sequence is on their case in third and finishing off well as they race towards the final furlong. Star Music headed by Skeleton, but Dance Sequence surely has them covered down the near side, getting there with every stride. Skeleton is digging in though. Skeleton, Dance Sequence near side of Skeleton in the oh-so sharp. Star Music third, then Sheik Columbine.
Dance Sequence remains unbeaten, 4-1 winner of the oh-so sharp. Double for William Buick, winner for Charlie Appleby and Godolphin. Second Skeleton, the 7-4 favourites, with a neck between them come the line. So Godolphin win the race that they sponsor. And Dance Sequence, this daughter of Derby, has put in a really pleasing performance. She has run down Skeleton, who's had positional advantage up top and looked probably the more straightforward on the track. Look at Dance Sequence, look at how she's going through the race and not really taking to the track, but the latent talent very much there. And no surprise to see that she will most likely be coming back for the Guineas or another top-class race as a 3-year-old. She signs of her 2-year-old career in style.
First reaction to that performance looked very good.
Yeah, very pleased. She was learning on the job and it was quite a messy race in that regard. You know, there wasn't much pace on. She quickened up really well and she quickened going into the dip where she just lost her action a little bit, as they can do here. And
just greenness as much as anything?
Just greenness, yeah, absolutely. You know, she's only ever run on the July course, so that's a flat surface where you're meeting the ground last furlong. So today's different ball game altogether. But I was pleased with how quickly she regathered her momentum, and she was well on top at the end. She's plenty of good qualities, and she's got plenty of size and scope about her for next year as well.
And obviously, people quote her for the Guineas. She's a classic filly. Yeah. How good a classic contender do you think she is at the moment?
At the moment, I think she's right up there, of course, and because we know that she's going to improve. So today it wasn't a surprise, but it was pleasing to see.
Well done. There you go, winner.
Thank you.
Charlie Appleby in the winner's enclosure after the oh-so sharp stakes. Charlie, first of all, what did you make of the performance of Dance Sequence today? Were you impressed? Was she delivering what you expected?
She was delivering what we expected, and in a fashion impressed, because it was a race that we know there's a tailwind, and sort of William he's got a lot of confidence in this filly. He said, I'm going to drop her in and ride my race on her, and the only bit I said was, just be careful they don't get loose on the front end with the tailwind. And I'd have said at halfway it was probably not in the posse he probably would like to have been in, really. But like I say, he had a lot of confidence in that filly. He gave her a lovely ride. She's learnt plenty, and you're always sort of, dare I say it, I know we only just won by a head or whatever the official distance was, confident that she was going to get there once she hit the rising ground.
Yeah, I think the first two horses are clearly very good because they were both quickening. The run-up looked like she was quickening away as well. But your filly looked like she just got a little bit unbalanced in that last furlong and a half before she finally hit her stride.
No, for sure. At the end of the day, she's only had the one run under her belt. I know the seconds had two, but I mean, it does make a bit of a difference. And she's a big scopy filly, and that dip, as we all know, I don't want to keep everyone using the dip as an excuse, but it's nice that she did sort of get unbalanced, because she's learned how to hopefully correct herself and find her. Once she changed her lead, she was, like I say, we were pretty confident she was going to get there.
Yeah, you say she's a nice scopy filly. I mean, watching her go around the paddock, she's got so much strength from front to back end. Has she always been like that? I mean, and how would she compare with other 2-year-old fillies?
Yeah, no, she's always, against some of the other fillies we've ran, she's got that scope and, like I say, that strength physically all round. But she's a filly that we purposely have sort of taken our time with, because she has, she's shown the signs of weakness. Probably, I know skeletally she'll say, well, she's a big scopy filly, but just in herself, her own demeanour, she's just showed that weakness in herself. So we've wanted to give her time, and we'll put her away for the winter, and hopefully look towards some of the trials in the spring.
And does she appeal to you as an out-and-out miler? Does she look like she'll get further? Or are you just thinking guineas at the moment?
I'd say a mile. I mean, she might get stretched a bit further. I mean, but she's done it quite comfortably. She travels strongly. I know they didn't go mad today, but she did it similar-ish in a green fashion on her first start as well. She's always travelled very well in behind her lead horses. So I don't think there's any immediate reaction to start talking about stepping up to 10 or a mile and a half. I think we'll look at the mile in the spring and work out from there.
You know as well as I do, Charlie, all season long people have written things about the stable's success this season. 2-year-olds, you're operating, I think, 30% strike rate still. How important is this success for you and the team today?
Very much. I mean, look, you want to be putting some of these 2-year-olds to bed for the winter on the back of hopefully a win like this, and we've got a couple of colts tomorrow, and it's not saying it's been challenging. It's been a changing of changing the guard in a fashion in the players that we've had in the team. As you know, we retired a lot of the older horses there, sort of into the early summer, so that always leaves a big pair of shoes to be filled. And the 2-year-olds, people think a big operation, you have lots of 2-year-olds. It doesn't always mean you've got lots of good horses. You've got to go through a lot of horses to try and find those stars, and hopefully we're confident we've got some nice 2-year-olds that are coming to the fore now, and we've got a few to run next week. It might only be maidens, but they've got the physical and they've got the pedigree to hopefully progress into a nice 3-year-old.
You've always given the impression that you take everything in your stride. I mean, has it been simply that for you this season when things haven't gone well? You've had to say goodbye to your ADRs and your Hurricane Lanes, etc., modern games. Have you taken it all in your stride, and it's just been operation as usual as you can be? For
sure, you've got to. I mean, you'll drive yourself probably crazy if you want to try and take it on the wrong side. But being positive, and I've always said to the team, don't change anything. The system we got in place has worked for over the last 5 years quite successfully, so there's nothing to change there. When the right models come through the programme, we're confident that they'll do the business on the track. So it has been very much. We also, as a team, knew ourselves in the spring that it was going to be tough because the 3-year-olds weren't there, and you haven't really got to do too much calculations to work it out from their 2-year-old careers on what they achieved. It was going to be a challenging 3-year-old career for them, and so we knew that ourselves. And then once the 2-year-olds came into play, we knew that we had that sort of a pedigree and a physical that were going to come to play later on in their 2-year-old careers. So that's fine. We're in a good place. Like I say, we're striking out those, knocking the winners out. The strike rate's good, and the horses are healthy, and we look forward to the spring.
She certainly looks like the ride model. Well done, Charlie.
Brilliant. Thanks, Richie.
Thank you.